was you don't understand, Zach. For the sake of the Christness of your platform, I can't tell the stories that were going on.
Nigerian time, huh?
Listen, man, I told you.
I'm just messing with you, man.
What up, Chris?
What's going on, man?
Not much, man. I got a bajillion things, trying to knock it all at once.
Yeah. Thanks for making the time to hop on.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, we're glad you were able to make it, man. We appreciate it.
No problem.
So, as I said to everybody, we usually talk about, lately, the past couple of weeks, we talked about, dating and a lot of different issues when it comes to how the church addresses dating and men, women, things like that. But, I want to give, some time to like get into people's origin story, how they came to know the Lord, things like that. And so, one of my best friends, Hafeez, I gave everybody kind of a background of who you are, what you do. So I know you only have now like 21 minutes. So go ahead, take it away.
All right. Yeah. So to me, the story began in my freshman year of college. The freshman year of college, I was playing football at a Division II school called Wingate University. And it's kind of interesting, but I realized one of my weaknesses is long-term consistency. Because I operate with so much passion at the beginning of stuff, it's hard to sustain that kind of energy. So freshman year of college, like I came into camp probably the most, how can I say that? I was like the it freshman on campus in regards to like the football team. Making plays, like really, really like the kid who all the coaches were talking about. And I was just really respected by a lot of my teammates and the coaches. But I still was young and I still had a lot of like little arrogance about myself. It's so funny because they put me on punt team. And I was like, I don't want to do that. And they moved me off because I didn't want to do it. Then they put me on punt return and I kind of like didn't try so they can remove me off that too. But mind you, like that's some real arrogant stuff. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
Like being a freshman in college and saying I don't want to do special teams.
Yeah. Who is this guy?
So
who is this guy?
A lot of stuff happened my freshman year, and things. It was crazy, and I tell this story all the time. People don't believe me. So I think it was week 7 of my freshman year. I was starting the whole entire week. In week 7. We were about to play Brevard University, which is also a school in North Carolina. And one of my best friends from high school was a wide receiver there. And so he recently won freshman player of the week, I think 2 weeks ago, because he maybe had like 120 yards or something like that against Lenore Ryan. And mind you, Brevard was a running school. Mm-hmm. So it was kind of a dope story, in my opinion, where it was like you have 2 guys from the same high school. One's a freshman corner, another one's a freshman receiver. I thought it was a great story. So Brevard, the receivers at Brevard ran a post corner pattern a lot. It was like, and I studied a lot of film because that's what my friends go to route. So I kid you not, man. I remember this like yesterday. It was Thursday. Thursday practice. Thursday's walkthrough.
Mm-hmm.
It's usually just helmets, or if not shells, depending on what team you're on. Thursday walkthrough, I think it was shells. It may have been helmets. I don't remember. We're going against scout team. Mind you, Brevard is 0-7. They haven't won a game. We're going against scout team. The scout team receiver ran a post corner just like I expected it. I kind of backpedaled. He ran a post. I didn't break on the post. Went for the corner, broke on the ball, dropped the interception, hit the ground. Get Hafeez out of there. They pulled me.
Wow.
Because the coach was like, this is not going to be a game where we're loafing. We're going to take them serious. I don't care if they're 0-7. Bench me. I kid you. Bench me. Thursday walkthrough. And we all know Friday is just helmets. Just going over the alignments. So I got benched before that game. And for the rest of the season, I never got an opportunity to start again.
Wow.
That made me really upset. That pissed me off. And I really stopped caring about football. During that time, I had some crazy friends, crazy white boy friends. I love them. Shout out to Mike Leandry, Craig Plastic, and all the guys. Bro, Joshua Vogel, there were some crazy guys. And literally, we partied like crazy. Like crazy. And then I remember, like, that was the first time I drank was during the this is so funny. First time I drank was 18 years old, winter of freshman year. And sometimes we party so much we miss morning workouts. Because you guys remember how you had those winter morning workouts?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I remember.
The 6 a.m. workouts, right?
Yeah, just park by the field house, go to sleep, and just tell someone to knock on their glass when they walk in.
I kid you not, I think I missed 2 of them.
Wow.
So here comes spring practice. We're doing coaches like if you miss 2 workouts, you can't do no team, no 7-on-7 for the whole spring.
Wow.
I was like, man, this dude's making this up, man. You know, there's no way you can't do no team, no 7-on-7. So literally what ended up happening was 7-on-7, I went on the field. Hafeez, get your ass off the field. There's one coach I didn't like. He was like a TA type coach. I never liked his behind. He came up to me and was like, you don't ever go in during team or 7-on-7. All you get is Indy. Indy is your Super Bowl.
Wow.
Transfer protocol the next week.
Yeah.
Transfer protocol the next week. So, had a really bad GPA. I had like 1.9 first year, really bad. Had a couple friends in the Square Club. I'm not sure if you guys know about the Square Club. But
No, what is that?
That's when you square your GPA and the number is still lower. Got a couple friends like 0.8, 0.7, you know, the 0.9. It's like they're like, yo. I had a friend, bro, I kid you not. My friend Craig, shout out to Craig Plastic. He got super wasted. He went to a winter workout, threw up through the whole workout, said, I quit. Packed the same day, packs his stuff, drives back home to Tampa, Florida. Willie Joe, you remember Willie Joe, Zach?
Yeah, I remember Will.
Will entered transfer protocol too. Everybody was transferring. So that summer, long story short, I started partying heavy in Atlanta. Studio 72, Club Miami. I was partying heavy in Atlanta. Time of my life. What happened? I also have I have an amazing movie idea. Amazing movie idea.
Yeah.
about the story of my summer at 18. Because like all true great stories, my goal was to lose my virginity before the summer was over. So it's like one of those, super bad, teen movie kind of thing where it's
Right.
I'm telling you, it's a great story. So anyway, I had this quest to lose my virginity, all that stuff, partying. I had a friend who had a football camp. And at this time, it was the only camp in the nation where college coaches could come and leave their schools and personally meet high school athletes. I think he found a loophole because it was a Christian camp.
Mm.
Oh yeah.
It was called Fellowship Sports Camp. So it was only camp. So basically what happened was I get to this camp and I kid you not, you have like 20 college coaches all there. And they were like recruiting athletes.
Mm.
Never seen anything like this before. So it was a 3-day camp. And the coaches stayed for all 3 days.
Dang.
I was a volunteer because I wasn't in high school no more. I was just volunteering. But it got really cool with 2 coaches. One, the coach at Southern Mississippi. The other was the coach at University of Louisiana Monroe. The coach at University of Louisiana Monroe liked me a lot. And he was like, yo, I'm going to go ahead and offer you a scholarship. But we can only offer you academic.
Mm-hmm.
Because at this point of the recruiting, there's no more football scholarships left. And unfortunately, my GPA was too low to receive all I needed was a 2.5 GPA to get an academic scholarship.
Mm-hmm.
My GPA was so low.
Yeah.
So he was like, yo, take summer school classes and raise your GPA. Didn't do it. So the coach at Southern Mississippi, this was when Southern Mississippi was good. Coach at Southern Mississippi really liked me. Coach Robinson, shout out to Coach Robinson, wonder where he's at now. He really liked me. And then the coach at Troy kind of liked me.
Which coach was it?
Coach, was his name Mo Crane?
Oh, Coach Crane. Yeah.
Coach at Troy so the coach at Southern Mississippi was like, before we leave camp, make sure I get your contact information. So we can talk, so we can get you on scholarship, right? I kid you not. The last day of camp was a Sunday. Saturday night, me and John Mark go to Studio 72. I'm not going to lie, top 3 greatest parties of all time. Top 3 greatest parties of all time. And I got to tell all these stories. I'm sorry, but these things matter.
Yeah, go ahead.
Here's why the party was great. 2 things are needed for a great party, in my opinion. First, obviously, women. I kid you not, for some reason that night it was 70% women. I don't know why.
70%.
The ratio was good.
I promise you.
That's
remember
unrealistically good.
it was. You don't understand, Zach. I for the sake of the Christness of your platform, I can't tell the stories that were going on. Then it was 70% capacity, 80% capacity.
Wow.
Usually people think, how was that a good thing? Usually when you're in a club, the worst thing is when it's so cramped, people stepping on your shoe, you're trying to dance, but someone's elbows in your gut. You know, like you don't got really, hey, hold me back, Bro, he had space, and me and John, bro, it was amazing. Left the club, I kid you not. I remember leaving the club that night because clubs in Atlanta shut down at 3. Leaving the club that night, I promise you, I remember, this is not true, but I remember the sun was up when we left. The party was that crazy. I was so tired. I woke up the next morning. It was Sunday. Slept for like 3 hours. Went to the camp. Stood outside for like an hour. Not hour, sorry, 10 minutes. I'm about to go home and sleep. Went back home, went to sleep. Never got coach's phone number.
Hmm.
Call coach the next day, doesn't respond. Message coach, doesn't respond. Call him for like 2 weeks, 3 weeks. But I found a way to get in contact with coach. I told the receptionist to tell him to call me back when he comes back from recruiting. He's like, Hafeez, bro, where you been at? I'm like, coach, I've been trying to call you. He said, which number? I'm like, the office number. He said, why? You supposed to call my cell phone. I don't answer the office phone. I was like, dang, man, I forgot to get it before you left. He was like, dang, man, we already kind of offered a scholarship to this defensive tackle.
Wow.
Wow.
Dang.
Yeah.
I can get you as a preferred walk-on, but there's nothing more I can do for you.
Hmm.
I was heartbroken. I was like, man. He said, honestly, camp is about to begin. I'm gonna be crazy busy. So I was like, dang, man, like I messed up.
Mm-hmm.
Try to hit him up the next day, couldn't get in contact with him. Mind you, there's 2 more weeks till school starts.
Hmm.
Camp starts early. You know that.
You're right.
Yep.
So I start calling everybody. Coach Crane from Troy picks up the phone. Coach Crane's like, hey man, we can get you down, we can get you going, we can get you here. We can get you as a preferred walk-on, come on down. So I didn't want to go to Troy at all, but I had no choice because the Southern Miss thing, it was hard to get in contact with him. So I said, okay, me and my dad go to Troy. We go to Troy. We go to the field house. Coach Crane's like, do all the paperwork, do all the FAFSA stuff, and sign up for all your classes, and then come. Do school's important. Do school first. Okay, go do school first. So we do school first. We apply for the FAFSA. I meet Miss Jones. Shout out to Miss Jones. I wonder where she's at. She's such a beautiful woman. So nice to me when I was younger. Meet Miss Jones. Takes care of me. I come back to Coach Crane. At this time, introduces me to Coach Wazin.
Okay. Yeah.
Hey, how's it going, son? My name Coach.
Was it?
I was like, well, I heard you, want to play football for us. Well, unfortunately, son, I just want to let you know that, we don't have any spots available on the team until next fall. To next spring. So you would just have to come here and, go to classes and, just be a regular student for the first semester. I was like, well, can I at least, work out with the team and, do stuff with the team? He's like, nah, son, you can't even do that. I was like, oh, no, I ain't doing that. Nope. Told my dad, I said, nope, I'm not doing that. I'm not about to not play football and do nothing for a whole year.
Right.
Whole semester, I mean. So I start blowing up the Southern Miss coach. He don't pick up, he texts me. And so here was the problem with Southern Miss. He texts me, then we got to hop on the phone. My dad talks to him. He's like, yo, I can get your son here, but here's the problem. We have no more housing on campus.
Wow.
Is at full capacity. Mind you, this is like late July, early August, and school's about to start.
Right.
You have to get off-campus housing. So you're going to have to go to Mississippi, come here to, was it Hattiesburg?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And you have to find housing and this, that, and the third yourself. And, I can't do it for you. I'm busy. So I'm like, dang, what should I do? I was truly conflicted. And my dad, because at Troy we had housing, we had everything to do, but I just couldn't play for the first semester.
All right.
For the Miss, I could at least play, but the housing and all these things it was up in the air. And the hard part was because Troy was 3 hours away, Southern Miss thing was 6.5. We couldn't go and visit Southern Miss.
Right.
So I remember, I kid you not, Southern Miss started a week after Troy.
Mm-hmm.
So Troy was going to start, I believe, like it was August 8th, something like that, August 10th. So I had a decision to make. I could either go to Troy the next day. It was Sunday night. Remember, like it was yesterday. Go to Troy the next day, or I could go to Southern Miss the next week. But the thing about it was I couldn't go to Southern Miss and go back to Troy because I would have missed a week of school.
Mm-hmm.
So I talked to my dad, and my dad said, "You know what, Hafeez, I think you should go to Troy." Last time my dad told me to go to Georgia Southern, I went to Wingate. So he already had it when I told you so.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I was like, I never listened to them. I'm always doing my own thing. You know what? I prayed about it. And for some reason, I felt like God was telling me to go to Troy. I get to Troy the first semester. I was miserable. I was so mad because I lost football. Football was everything for me. I lost that. Go to Troy that semester. I literally did not talk to anybody. Back when I was younger, Zach knows me. I was so disciplined, man. I did vows where I was like, I'm not gonna talk to a woman for 6 months.
Yeah.
Seriously, I did it.
That's interesting.
The only girl who ever talked to me on campus was Boudreaux's sister. She was in one of my classes.
Yep.
And I rarely talked to her. So I would go to weights in the field house, even though I wasn't supposed to be there. So and that's where Zach would see me, working out. And I was just trying to get better. People didn't know. They saw me lifting at night. I'll be on the track at least 3 to 5 times a week. Shout out to look at Barry in there.
Yeah.
Barry, I be track. People didn't realize this. I was on the track, running 3 miles, running sprints, had a parachute, all by myself.
You know, you were getting it.
Really, by myself, lifting, running, just getting ready. A longer story short, one of the main I forgot to add this part of the story. One of the main reasons why I considered Troy was because one of my friends from Wingate, Willie Joe, he was going to Troy as well. And so I was like, you know, if he's going there, I'm gonna consider going there as well.
Right.
At that time, I think it was Coach Scott, the running backs coach.
Yep.
He was the one who told Willie Joe to come on down. So that first semester, I didn't talk to nobody. I think Zach was the only person I maybe talked to occasionally. I had no friends that first semester. And then the funny enough story was, I remember one day, it was November, I went to the library, and I saw a kid in the library reading Naruto manga. I was like, hey, man, you read Naruto? Yeah, I read Naruto. You read Naruto? I said, yeah, I read Naruto. That man was CJ.
Yeah.
That's not CJ. And so, you know, next semester comes along, and my friend Will, he comes to Troy. My friend Will comes to Troy, and Will and I get a room together in Alumni Hall. Shout out to Alumni.
It's not there anymore.
Not there anymore. We got a room together in Alumni Hall. And one day I'm walking down the hallway we're waiting for a room. No, I'm sorry. We're getting a room together in Pace Hall. But we're both staying at Alumni at the time. And we were about to I was staying at Alumni at the time, and we were waiting to get our room in a different hallway. All of a sudden, I'm walking down the hallway, and I see Will's name on a door next to my room in Alumni. Well, I'll remind you, we're waiting for another room in a different dorm room. And I said, Will, do you know that your name is on this door? And usually you got to know what it means. When your name's on the door, that means that's your place.
Right.
It turns out they put Will's name on 2 different doors. So the system had a glitch, and he got registered for 2 different rooms.
Mm.
And because the second room was closer to my room, he moved rooms from the first floor to the 4th floor in Alumni. And that room was the Zacchaeus' room.
Ah, okay.
So he was staying with this dude named Zacchaeus, who I thought was a very weird guy. Always every. And so Zacchaeus kept on inviting Will to Bible study. Never been to Bible study, never cared about it. And started inviting Will to Bible study. And eventually, you know, Will and I realized, yo, we're not going to church ever, but let's go check out a Bible study. And then kept on inviting us to say, you know what, let's go to Bible study. So me, Will, go to Zacchaeus' Bible study. At that Bible study, I walk in the room, I'm shocked. That was my first time ever going to Bible study. And I was shocked because there were so many other young men there, especially black men there. There was Sam Pounds was there. I don't know if you remember Sam's boy Mario. Shout out to Mario.
Yeah.
And there was a lot of black dudes, and I was just shocked. I'd never seen anything like that before. So I sat down in Bible study. I remember there was a skinny white guy in the middle of the table. Shout out to Zach Markham.
Yeah.
And Zach Markham said at the beginning of the table, and Zach Markham starts talking about the difference between religion and a relationship. Shout out to Barry. Barry said those were the days. And he started talking about the difference between religion and a relationship. And at that time, I've never heard Christianity explained that way. I thought it was interesting. I think it was week 3, they invited me to Crossroads.
What is like Crossroads?
Kind of like the BCM.
It was basically like BCM. It was like Refuge at Henderson.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
So I took a little, the little Christian meeting, and there was this, man, these Alabama guys are terrible. There's this Alabama preacher who came to Kane. Alabama preacher came, and he was talking about, like, if y'all don't give your life to Christ, you're going to hell. Just fire. Like, all those other religions, I'll be honest with you, they ain't going to hell. You just straight. That's how I interpreted it. This probably wasn't what he was saying, how I interpreted it, right?
Yeah.
I walked out. Like a simple cut. I just walked out, just frustrated. I'm out of here. I'm storming out of the building. So walk out, right? Frustrated. Zach and Zulu follow me. I'm like, man, that's a bunch of garbage, man. How dare you say that? How dare you say people like this? I'm like, I'm done with all this stuff. I'm done with it, right?
Yeah.
And me and Zach stood outside. At this time, me and Will were living in Pace Hall. Stayed outside my dorm, and we talked for at least an hour, where I was just expressing my frustrations with Christian ideology. And they were like, kind of like explaining to me what was going on. And then I remember, for some reason, after that conversation, I said, you know what? I'm going to go to Bible study again. Don't know why. I'm going to go to Bible study again. Go to Bible study the next day. And I forget what the message was.
It's loading as he's thinking, too.
Perfect timing.
Your camera froze and it was doing the loading when you said, I forgot what the message was.
At that time, I was like, man, for some reason, I felt like I needed to give my life to Christ. For some reason, just say, you need to do this. You need to become a Christian. So I walked up to Zach and I was like, hey, man, I have a question for you. Somebody wants to be a Christian. How do they do it? How do they make it happen? And I remember, Zach was asking me some questions and this, that, and the third. And then, we went to a room. It was me, him, and Zulu. It was like February 2010, about 12 years ago. And we prayed. Asked God for forgiveness. I acknowledged that Christ was, died on my behalf, paid the punishment that I deserved. And I remember giving my life to God that day, and everything changed. Everything changed. And so to me, I tell people this all the time, like, my whole journey began with Christ. Everything people are seeing today began on that day, because then all of a sudden my mindset shifted. from a man who was trying to just get to a man who was trying to give.
Mm.
And as Zach knows, like, I became so obsessed with like the gospel, with Christianity, I quit football. I retired.
Wow.
The following spring. And it wasn't because I wasn't good. I was actually getting really good. I was getting better. And even though, we were walk-ons, like, I was very respected amongst my teammates.
Mm-hmm.
And so after all that, I just had a desire to help men. I realized that, man, like, this message was so good. It was so transformational for my life. How many more men's life can be transformed by the gospel message?
Mm-hmm.
And that led me to the Urban Gospel Mission. That led me to the Real Talk series. That led me to want to be a teacher. That led me to the roommates. Led me to where I am today. So all that began with Christ. But all that began dropping an interception, week 7, getting benched, and the domino effect that led me to where I am today.
Wow.
So to me, I tell people all the time, especially when men are trying to find their purpose, your purpose is something that you pursue, but your purpose is also something that can change.
Mm-hmm.
And as a man, you might be pursuing something A, but God's going to redirect you to something B. And so a lot of times we don't know exactly what God has in store for us, but submitting ourselves to Him, walking in the path He's provided for us, and constantly surrounding ourselves with like-minded men along that way, you always get to your end destination. So that's kind of my experience, my journey, and how I got to where I am today.
Yeah. Well, thank you for hopping on. I know you got a show you've got to do in a minute, but maybe some other time you could also we gotta have you on here talking about the women, the marriage journey too.
Oh
We
yeah.
both got to talk about that. That's gonna be a good one. So thanks for hopping on, man, and thank you for sharing that, because I know that probably touched somebody. So
Love it.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, that was good, man. Thank you.
I
That was
appreciate it.
good.
Take care, man.